Narcissism is coming up for a big review. Narcissism might be seeing its last days in the spiritual ascension period we're in. So, we are in what I call a period of spiritual ascension, and I'm not the only person making that kind of claim. As a healer, I notice patterns that most people might not notice because I talk to people about the deepest emotional things bothering them and things that they don't really share with everybody. And in my more than 20 years as a healer, what I've seen is that things keep coming to the surface, and the things that come to the surface are things that are inauthentic, negative, low frequency, whatever you want to call them. And what I've been seeing coming to the surface now in public consciousness is the idea of narcissism. It seems that it's all over YouTube, people's conversations, that people are starting to clue in to the fact, number one, that narcissists seem to run the world and don't care about the rest of us or each other. And when I say the rest of us, that is not to pretend to be immune to any of the traits of narcissism. I think narcissism is a spectrum that most people are on to some degree, although we might not be classified in some clinical way as being narcissists. You know, we all have our self-centeredness. And in fact, a lot of my videos have even alluded to the fact that people who are very insecure can have another kind of narcissism. The ego can thrive under grandiosity or feeling not good enough. Either way, it's an ego. So anyway, it's just interesting to me, and now I realize that when you watch a video on YouTube, you get presented with other videos on YouTube. So if you ever watch a video on narcissism, you're probably going to get offered other videos on narcissism. So sometimes it seems that, if you watch that one and then you get offered more, that the whole world is talking about it. But that's not my only source. And what seems to be interesting is that literally there's an awakening going on about narcissism, about its effects, and really the fact that there's a kind of energy vampire thing that goes on with narcissists. An attention-seeking pattern, drama-creating, that all of our world leaders seem to be narcissists. People that are in the media, people that are famous in whatever way. And, we allow a certain amount of that. We understand a diva needs to be a diva and it's kind of fun, whatever. But if you notice all the different things that have come out about people acting badly, if you take the stuff from, for example, the Ellen DeGeneres situation, whether that's true or false, you take Prince Harry outing the British royal family for a lot of their unsavory patterns of behavior, let's say. And on down to just people leaving relationships with narcissists, right? That it seems that in the mass consciousness, there is a deconstruction of narcissism going on. And to me, I look at it as part of an overall ascension process where aspects of the ego are being shown to us, or let's say we're looking at it from a slightly different angle than we used to. And as we look at it from this different angle, we start to formulate decisions on, is this something I want to deal with or not? So a lot of people are looking at narcissism and realizing it's not something that they want to deal with. Whether it's from a parent, whether it's from a lover, a friend, a boss, colleague, whoever it is, a partner, a lot of people are just getting fed up and walking away from the whole thing. And that's all you can really do, actually. You can't really fight narcissism because that's just giving it energy and attention. So it doesn't really work. You can only walk away from it. And so what I would say to everybody out there is just watch the narcissists in your life, even that you don't know personally. They could be the famous people, whatever, that you pay attention to. And watch what happens over the next months, the next year or so. Notice how narcissism and narcissists will try to change the subject or reframe things in their behalf, but also notice it doesn't seem to be working the way it used to. And I predict more exposure. And this isn't about exposing evil. Keep in mind, narcissists are wounded, insecure people that are literally, it's like they're drowning. They're like a drowning person that will grab on to their best friend and pull him down just to get one more breath of air. Okay? Narcissists are in a panic. It does you no good to think of a narcissist as some mastermind, conniving, evil genius. Now, they can be geniuses at what they do. They're great at causing drama and strife wherever they go. But the thing is, it's all just the lashing out of a wounded animal that's scared. Okay? All the propping up of the ego is just to maintain an illusion. And it takes a lot of energy to maintain an illusion. And it takes more energy than the narcissist has. They need to get some from you to make it work. They need to get attention. They need to get admiration and adulation. But if they can't get that, hatred will do. Jealousy would be great, right? And so try not to demonize the narcissist. Even if they don't have compassion for others, you can still have compassion for them. But just watch it as it comes up, as it is exposed on all different levels in society, and watch how it changes. Watch how the payoff for being a narcissist is going to disappear. The fact is, the only way as a society that we can help narcissists is by depriving them of the supply of attention that they require to maintain their narcissism. The only way as a society that we can help narcissists is to deprive them of this drug that keeps them in a state where they can ignore the inner pain that the narcissism is there to protect. When we don't feed the narcissism, when we let it wither on the vine, then the narcissist has a crisis and something breaks down, and only then can the pain underlying the narcissism be healed. As long as they get rewarded even a little bit, there will be no incentive. But just imagine, it's like I've said about abusive men, right? If all the women boycotted abusive men, and abusive men, abusive to whatever degree, could never get laid forever, they would have an incentive to work on their abuse patterns, okay? And narcissism is abuse. And so as long as narcissists are rewarded, there's no incentive to quit being a narcissist. They're not going to quit because you came to them and you spilled your guts and you cried. That is just nectar to them. No, it will be that you're just not impressed. There's a great movie called The Cruise, and it features this guy, Timothy Speed Levitch, who is doing bus tours around Manhattan. It's from about 1998, 99. And in it, he says a line that I absolutely love and quote often. And he's speaking to, I believe, his mother, I'm not sure, but the person's not there. It's like an imaginary conversation. And in this imaginary conversation, he says, "Your narcissism is mediocre." And that's the thought I would like to leave you with. Narcissism is mediocre. It's not something to treat as evil and scary and horrible and all of that. Because if you do treat it that way, you're just giving energy to it. But when you treat narcissism as mediocre, you let all the air out of the balloon. And narcissism is mediocre because the ego is mediocre compared to what you really are. Your narcissism is mediocre, but your spirit is amazing. So if we can all drop the narcissism to whatever degree we have it, that doesn't mean dropping the healthy self-love, self-respect, self-adoration that comes out of love and not wounding. But drop the narcissism. Experience the spirit. And the mediocrity will leave. Thanks for watching.